friends with the guy that developed the algorithm, and the algorithm I will talk about it, is called, he calls it the parasite. This algorithm is patented for the US market, because we operate in the US market with this. Why do we operate in the US market? Because that's one of the last markets in the world that is open. That means it's transparent about who does which transactions on the stock exchange. All other markets, the London and the Helsinki one, are closed. It started in Helsinki because Helsinki used to be the most open stock exchange in the world, but they closed also anything. An open market means that you can know all the 70 billion transactions, million transactions daily on the American stock exchanges. We can get the information from the Federal Reserve. We have to pay for it. Every bank can pay for it, but we pay 15,000 euro per year to get all these transactions. No. But the algorithm, the guy, there's one guy that is an informatic guy. He's already now second half of the 50s. I don't know exactly his age. He created the algorithm, and what the algorithm does is it follows all these transactions and takes out the best players. But the best players is a swarm of best players. It changes all the time. Think about a swarm of fish or a swarm of birds. But it's those people that are operating on the stock exchange that has the most success. The financial brains. But they are not the Warren Buffetts or the people that are very prominent in the press. They're all unknown people that we also don't know. It's quite anonymous people or little organizations, but they have a nose, a smell of what's happening in the market, and they prove it. The algorithm follows those people for some time, and the algorithm is not stupid. I mean, once the algorithm, it does the work, and it will do this work for the end of times. The algorithm has to be interpreted, adjusted, updated on a daily basis. It's almost daily work. For Zachary, the guy that has this algorithm called the parasite. What we always have to say is, past results are no guarantee for the future. We are operating on the stock exchange. The corporation, the assets of the corporation are people that give their money in order to buy stocks. The algorithm gives us a chance to have a high return. First year, in 2012-2013, we made 13.73%. 13. We were then the third best hedge fund in the United States. Very small. Average that year we had $35,000 to invest, because we just started. And now, after 2 years, in the 2 years we made 40%. Before starting with real money, the people in Finland did dry tests from 2002 to 2009. So, with virtual money. They bought and sold for $100,000, and they followed how it would work. So in that period was also what people call the crisis of 2007. and the average results in those 7 years were 22%. Now, having this high yield on investment, we ask people to share the results. That's the principle of Robin Hood. We are not interested in money, more or less, or to make money, or to become rich or something. We are interested in generating money. We are interested in generating money from the financial market to whom we pay lots of money. As the precarious labor market, we are the ones that saved the financial work by also letting them suck our capacity of having debts and paying taxes. Having debts, we make the money go around, we pay rent on it, so the debts and the taxes, and with the taxes we save them. So we think we have a right to get something back, to tap the brains of financial smart people. That's more or less the principle of Robin. We do the same like what every hedge fund does. We compensate we try to offset and balance our risky position in the labor market with operating in another market. And so we compensate our uncertain position with getting rent out of another market. That's more or less the principle. But you can make money only when you have a lot of money. The idea is to get of many people little money, not big money. Although we are not afraid of big money. We now have 273 members in about 20 countries, and we invest $635,000. And that's increasing every month with about 10,000 or something of investments of new members. This money generates money for Robin Hood. And Robin Hood, so now I have to first say something. When you start to invest, you have to become a member for 30 euros. And you have to buy at least one obligatory share for 30 euros. So for 60 euros you can be a member of Robin Hood and follow this. And we are very happy with small investors because the more members we have, the more people will trust to become a member of this. We have 24,000 costs, but when we make 10% or 15% with the 635,000, then we have 60,000 or 90,000 euro, and we have to pay 30,000. We have to take 30,000 off. So that's 30% or 50% goes now to is the difference between the brute profit and the net profit. It is divided. But the more we are a voluntary organization, we have not much cost, and the costs are quite controllable and are quite stable. So the more investment we have, the better the relation between the costs and the profit will be. We have a website, and on the website we try to be as transparent as possible. It's very simple to become a website. You go to the new member button, and you are directed to the page where you fill in your name, and then you say how much shares you want to buy, and then we ask which option you want to take of the part of the profit you want to keep for yourself, and the part of the profit you want to give to Robinhood. First year, we had only one option, 50-50. So 50% of the profit went to Robinhood and 50% you could keep. We learned that big investors, and we are looking for big investors also, like charity organizations or art foundations that have quite a bank account and could put it in Robinhood for certain years, but they were not able to do this 50-50 scheme, to give away to another charity a part of the money that they made. So we had to offer them the 100% option. That 100% of the profit is for them. But then we take 10%, in the case of the 100%, we take 10% up front of their investment. When they invest 1,000 euros, we take 100 euros. With this, we formed the Robinhood Fund. And we have now 35,000 euros in the Robinhood Fund, by people that paid up front. 100% of the profit of the Robinhood Fund is going into Robinhood projects. And into Robinhood projects go also the parts that the members share, the profits that the members say, this I give to Robinhood. It can also be 80-20, then we take 5% and they want to keep 80% for themselves, give 20% for Robinhood. We punish their greediness by taking 5% up front. But most people now, after the first year of 50-50, I think the average is 75-25. So people want to have a bigger part for themselves. So why I am in Robinhood is to create a fund that can make money in order to spread it to the commons. What it also does when you go into Robinhood, you overlap greediness and generosity. And you go into it also because there is this high return on one side, but you are asked to give a part of it away. That's your generous side. And normally in life, we divide our greediness and our generosity. When you are in a hurry or you need to take a plane, then you take a plane and you forget climate change, and at another moment when you feel good, you give 100 grand to Greenpeace or something. And so you balance your bad behavior and your good behavior a little bit, let the left hand not know what the right hand does. So in Robinhood you are in this operation of, I give away of what I could have had this if I would have chosen another option or something. So I like it. It's an instrument that maybe might change a little bit the minds of people to deal with these kind of things. Oh yeah, I was at the website. So in the website we give all kind of statistics and diagrams and also the last 30 days of the value of the investments. And these are the different series that we have. When you pay us in a certain month, then at the end of the month we transfer all these payments to one we combine them in one series. So you start the next month in a new series, because everybody steps in on a different moment. So the old series are now, the second series is 39 euros value or something. So they are 2 years in the Robin Hood Fund, and they have more value than the series that start with 30 euros. Now, what is the Robin Hood project? Because that's finally where we do it for. We have now 7,000 euro in the Robin Hood projects, and we are setting it up how we are going, for which projects we are going to give the money to. And that cost a lot of discussions, but the proposal now is, for the general meeting soon, is that we ask, so first, only members can propose projects. People cannot apply for it. We are a little bit fed up with all these applications that everybody has to make and send to apply for money. So you get it. If you want it or not, we will find you. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, so only members can propose. But members can, so we think that members propose, let's say, 100 projects. Then we need to select them. So are we going to select between the 273, or are we going to form a smaller selection commission? And we chose for the smaller selection commission because the 273 are not all active, so you get some fake democracy, and most probably you get some kind of operation that ends up with projects where everybody feels good with or something. So we would also give radical choices a chance. So an example, we say, yeah, when some people want to give to Zapatista, then please let this also be possible. They can decide how many projects they pay money for. We have 100 projects. Then we asked all the members who wants to be available for the selection committee of 3 people to select the projects that we are going to do. So let's say we get 20 people or 30 people that say, I'm available. Then randomly, out of the 30 people, we choose 3 people that might not know each other or something. These 3 people have to select the projects that they want to give money to, but they have to do it unanimously. To be also a little bit safe about the seriousness and the discussion that will happen in this committee. And they so, and then the board has to prove the selection finally, because there's one main criteria for which kind of projects we are going to give money to. First, it can be in all fields of life. It can be social, not only art, although we have a strong art connection. It can be social, medical, ecological, or whatever. But each project, we don't want to be a charity that helps people and problem out. We only want to select projects that open up the space of the commons, the space of the public. So it has to be projects that are bigger than someone him or herself. So someone that wants to start a magazine, someone that starts, or some people that want to start an alternative school, or that want to open a park somewhere, or these kind of projects that we gain back our public space that neoliberalism took very effectively away from us. We almost don't have it. So we want to people meet people, talk, and to get our space back instead of being separated and afraid and in fear for each other. Questions?
Yeah, I've got one for you, Jan.
What?
I've been thinking while you've been here, you know, for like a little while about the kind of the machination, you know, the mechanical way in which the algorithm invests and rides on the coattails of successful transactions, but there's no ethical dimension as to where the money gets invested. So this for me is quite, because it's a really radical way of opening, especially minor asset management, but there's the ethical consideration about whether you should invest in big pharma or big tobacco or arms manufacturers because their rates of return are so good. I was wondering how the co-op is kind of engaged with that angle to it. Whether
no, there is no, so it's not the way how the algorithm works. So that would be another operation. And you say we are going to invest only in what we think is ethical and okay. So I have no problem with it. We are parasiting the financial world.
In the financial world today.
There is on the stock market quite recently a very interesting development since more women are operating on the stock market because they inherited the money of their partner, or they make money, they are much more in business. And it's significantly different where women put their money than men. And in 15 years, they think that 75% of the money that circulates on the stock exchange will be controlled by women. And that will totally change also the way of production and the way we produce. Because at a certain moment, certain industries or people cannot find money anymore. Because the stock market is there to give liquidity to the industries. So I'm very happy with this. I'm super happy with this. That one of the parts of women liberation, one of the aspects of women liberation is also that they get a very strong position in our economical life. So I follow you also. So I can privately I have no stocks, but I would not go also for hard industries. But yeah, I don't know. I have no. So when you steal from the rich and want to give it to the poor, then you better don't ask where the rich got their money from. Because you can only be rich when you have stolen. Because you forgot to give it away. And or to share it. So money is always dirty.
Yeah, it's that concept of purity, eh?
What?
The concept of purity, there is no purity, I guess.
No.
What you're saying.
So when you wanted to suggest some purity by thinking, yeah, I exchange then we need to have more discussions, because the stock exchange is based on growth, on the whole economy that makes us crazy, that makes us raise productivity, and so on, and that finally makes us totally dependent on work, while at the same time work is taken out of us. That's because the future, the future concern of governments will be how to find work for humans. So this will all change society, because robots will take it over. So there are, yeah, that's another. So when I want to be ethical, I better operate with my money if I would have known it differently.
Right, thank you.
Which is, I'm wondering how unique your model is, and there was obviously a really long lead in time with testing out between 2002 and 2009 that you were talking about before going into the algorithm direct real money. But obviously algorithms operate on the market the whole time,
Yeah.
and then you also have models of foundations that are charitable, that have money that they were accruing interest on looking after as an asset, and I imagine sometimes they're also operating on the stock market, or
They
investing their
operate
money
for
there.
sure on the stock
And that money is going into the projects for social good, etc. So I wonder the research around that and the relationship between existing models and now what Robin Hood are doing.
I don't know. What I understand is that we are quite unique. I haven't seen this model operating with this algorithm and with this sharing of this overlapping of cleanliness and generosity. They are mostly two different operations, and here you can only. We are very greedy, but we are also very generous. So,
but I'm just wondering if it's almost a compression of what might be happening already with the operation of the foundation. The foundation doesn't actually design the algorithm themselves, they just outsource that to a specialist in the financial market. They have a treasurer who then talks to a financial specialist, but with you that exists within one organisation. But you could say that it's a similar operation, but it's just compressed in some way.
Yeah, but it's similar in terms of investment, but they don't have this algorithm.
Yeah, but they might still be operating
all kind of
different
specialists. Yes. They
Yeah.
try to make, but they have good and bad years also. So they try to. Nobody can guarantee anything. We also not. So.
But if you weren't operating for a charitable benefit, or you didn't have Robin Hood projects as part of it, you were just investing in the market for return, and you were saying you've got this very good record of 40% profit yield over 2 years, and you're the third
best hedge fund.
third best. So if you had a lot of interest, have you been noticed as on the financial markets? And
No, because we invested then 35. We are operating through interactive brokers. This is one of the most distinguished brokers on the stock exchanges. What was your question? Why did I say this?
I think I was asking about the
Oh yeah, if it was noticed.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no. When we have 1 billion, we won't be noticed.
Okay.
Even.
So it's not statistically noticed.
When we had 100 million, we won't be noticed. But
Why?
we would
Because
be,
you're not that. Because
we are not big.
you're not big players.
We are not no.
But if your money wasn't being reinvested into Robin Hood projects, you could exponentially grow and become enormous because of the
Yeah,
success of
once
the
you have
algorithm.
yeah.
So you would have thought people would not necessarily look at the necessarily the size of the company, but look at the overall success, the startups and I don't know. It's just interesting because I know that algorithms operate in the market all the time, but this is incredibly successful,
Yeah.
well designed,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, yeah. I was thinking in the beginning also, but now I am almost convinced that nobody is interested. We have very good results in also risk ratios. There are all kind of ratios where they calculate the risk, and we all the time score very high, from between very good and excellent in these ratios. So I was also thinking, when they see that we make such a good result, and we have so good, so well functioning risk ratios, they will come. They don't see us. Well, they know everything from us. The reports, interactive brokers are very smart and very quick, and they can easily see. They make a list, and they make lists, and we operate high on it. But when they see the amounts, they are not. And the guy who made the algorithm could make a lot of money when he would operate in the banking market, but he has, like all of us, his heart on the left side. So he's, and that's what we need. We need the brains of the left.
Are they individuals or companies that would ordinarily be investing in the stock market? And do you get to know much about what their motivations might be? You talk about this kind of conflation of greed and generosity.
No, when you become a member, you may say something about yourself, but most people don't do it. No, but we know that it's hardly. We have one big foundation.
But your aim is to try to transcend the art world to kind of bring in some of the bigger investors, so that you can.
Yeah. I don't know if they can bring, but maybe sometimes they can bring bigger investors.
But that seems to be the crux of what you're saying, is that it's this kind of overlap between the greed and the generosity, and actually asking people to consider those two things in the same sentence. And for the left-leaning art people, that's already kind of understood, but so the challenge would be to sort of shift that conversation out into a world where people have the choice to invest in any one of
we can forget, we hope that we would have people with money, right-wing investors that want to make more money. The smell of left is so clear on the website that, that they don't want to be part of this. We are the wrong world for them. So we need left money. That's why I say we need charities that think a little bit different, or art foundations that have. The problem with art foundations is that most are industrially based, so their board is hardcore also. So we try different ones.
Has your project been discussed in relation to accelerationism? An argument of accelerating and identifying with the structures of capital.
Strisek and what is the other name of the other guy who wrote the Accelerist Manifesto. So I know about it. Why would have been discussed? Well, they are trying to formulate new instruments for post-capitalism. That's what we all do, but it's not a new instrument for post-capitalism. It's an instrument for capitalism. Only to.
But could.
It's not an instrument
is
for
like
capitalism.
what do you see? Because you were talking about the commons, and that is one claim.
That's the same claim, but that's the same claim of course, many of. I don't know if you know Politika Eric Durand in Spain, Politika Integral Catalonia, the peer-to-peer of Michel Bauwens and so on. So those are all operating with the theory of revitalizing the common space. And that's another way of we the people, el pueblo unido, that we don't get people behind banners anymore. We get people with brains. For this we need to create other instruments. I always give the example of the roundabout. The roundabout is a perfect example where it's an instrument where people learn to cooperate. No longer traffic lights a thing for you or the government thing for you, but where they learn to make a junction going smooth together with each other. It's a very important tool for very small cooperation, but it's these instruments, I think, that we have to develop for post-capitalism in order to make people, because my adagium is people are much nicer and much smarter than they allow themselves to be treated. They are treated like criminals. They steal from each other, you have to take care, they are willing to pay huge amounts of their income to security everywhere, to protect their property based on their fear, and they are treated like stupids, like kids that has to now. But that's industrialized society. That's what industrialized society wanted to make the people. All noses in one direction. And all our institutions, schools, hospitals, prisons, are all still based on this industrial society, and we accept it. To find alternative, when you have kids, to find alternative schools for your kids, where they are treated like normal, responsible people that don't need to scream at each other and that can understand that we have a space together, is still very extremely difficult to create. But the people are much nicer and much smarter. And the people understand, and also with the help of internet, where there is so much freedom, where there's so much cooperation. These generation nowadays, the indigo generation, of people that are now in their 20s, they are prepared for all kinds of changes in their life. They know that they won't have not only three different employers, but they will have 3 different jobs in their life. They will do 3 completely different things. Like they put 3 different layers on their bread, and no longer like me, one, either cheese or ham. Or they know that they will have, they will not be married for the rest of their life with the same person. They will have 5 kids, 3 different women or husbands. And that is a society that is the society of the future. So in this cooperation operates also a little bit there. Sorry for my fanatic tone.
I just wondered how scalable it
I have to
is,
break it.
and like what you think. I don't know how much you know about. In this country, you have something called the Big Society, which the Conservative government brought in, which is that individuals take responsibility
Neoliberal,
for this social responsibility that you're talking about, and it's actually encouraging individuals to take responsibility for the commons of these public spaces and for schools to set up your own schools. And you're saying that Robin Hood projects will potentially support these kinds of projects, starting these into schools where there's opportunities for a different attitude to the one that our institutions provide. And I'm wondering, how scalable that is, whether, say, the community that's built around something like Robin Hood Co-op and this left-wing position that many of the investors will take is one which, I suppose, it's preaching to the converted and supporting maybe a community who are already socially motivated and will provide opportunities for other people within their community to reclaim these spaces, but then you still have the strata of those who, or the majority, this is actually only still a very small percentage people who are able to take responsibility, and that's to do with time and labour that you can give away to these social projects. It includes many factors, but I think it becomes really interesting when you start to think about the scale and the reach and the networks that it can operate within or beyond.
It is in a certain way not a problem, but in principle the problem is what's confusing for the people is that goals of neoliberalism go with goals of go with goals of the left.
Well, they've been accommodated,
Yeah, but with this difference, that neoliberalism will always take care that they will tap the profit out of it. So for neoliberalism, very much the future workforce will work 24 hours and 7 a day, but be master over their own time and space. We all want to be master over our own time and space. My theory is that neoliberal pays so much for the art and art schools that they use it, the army of artists as the first one to give society a smell of being master over your own time and space, because it looks so good. Between the two world wars, every Catholic family had one kid, either in a nun school or a priest, or in a monk school. Now they have an artist, and this artist is there to give other people that don't dare or don't think yet so far to think you can also be master of your own time and space. So you organize your own life, but at the end there is always financials that will tap the profit out of it. That's of course not what we want. We want that we are individuals and we can generate together between each other this 24 hours, 7 days a week work that we produce and create and exchange between each other. So it looks like in neoliberal we share the same goal, only with a different perspective. And neoliberalism is about money, getting rid of money. Their main task was to get government out of society and to save money.
Yeah, individuals take responsibility for what the state did, and that's what.
But it turns out that it's privatization, everything, and the privatization is for the rich, and the public crumbs stay outside. So it makes society that's highly unequal. So it sounds cool that everybody can decide and find their own schools and their own clinics and hospitals and so on. That will be the future, but that's for the privileged, us, but not for the main part of society. And I don't understand it. I don't understand when I see poor people, how is it possible that society can let it go? How you see poor kids, how you see potentiality everywhere. And we can still let it go. There is no difference between our behavior now and the colonial behavior. Thinking differently about capacities of people. Thinking differently. There are no different capacities.
But in order to be a member, you have to, no, in order to be a beneficiary of Robin Hood projects, or not to be a beneficiary, sorry, in order to propose who to give the money from Robin Hood projects to, you have to be a member, you have to have money to invest.
Yes. 60 euros.
And so how do you incorporate beyond those people who are able to afford it?
No, 60 euros.
60 euros, it's not, yeah.
It's, and if somebody puts 600,000 euros, it's one person, one vote. They have not more to say.
You have investors from all over the world. Do you have investors from all over the world?
Yeah, no, I think 20 countries.
And then, so when you decide on the projects to fund, are there, that's a lot of ground to cover with a limited amount of money. What are some of the things that have been funded in what areas, geographic areas?
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
No. And it's very little, because we have 7,000 to give away. Now, we stepped in a running train. I run an organization that's developing itself while operating and on internet. So you cannot get hold of people with volunteers. So it's the most difficult thing to get something done. But we managed. So it's we did not. There's the 7,000 is still there. It will be more, but yes, we now have the principles of the selection. And it's a cooperation. So we develop everything in discussion and people that want to discuss and. There's not, I cannot say which projects.
Okay.
Okay. Give it a go. Despite you are late.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
So did you say it's confidential among the members where the money goes to projects?
Oh yes, no. Members will propose.
No, but how public is it? Did you say it's confidential? It hasn't been, or it hasn't?
No,
we
did not do it. But it's not, no. So
it won't be confidential. It will be.
no, it will be open. These are the projects, and we will put them on the website, and we will also say which problems are selected. But then don't come to me, because we, the organizers, should not be in this committee. So there are 3 members, and it's up to them. We only ask the board to prove that they have chosen projects that are not charity, but open up the common space, and that's the only discussion that's possible.
I was thinking about working assets that became Credo, a phone company in the US that would make annual contributions based on the percentage of the phone bill that people ran up. You're probably familiar with them, or?
No.
No? They used to be called working assets. That was like 10, 15 years ago, changed their name to Credo. And the whole whole business model was based on
Credo, C-R-E-D-O.
C-R-E-D-O, yeah.
That's
That
what I've heard.
if you were progressive minded, you would choose them for your long distance phone carrier, which in the US you have local carrier and long distance.
Yeah.
And a percentage of your phone bill would be set aside each year to give to progressive causes. And you could also choose to round up on your bill, so if it came to, you know, $15.39, you could round up to 16, and they put the extra few cents towards it.
Yeah.
And then each year, members, anybody who was used the service, could vote on which of 40 or 60 different projects to fund in different areas, you know, whether it's human rights or environmental or whatever. It's an interesting similarity there. This does sound interesting. I will admit I had not heard of this before today, but then again, I'm learning.
Business do what we the people want. We the people don't understand it. We always talking about business, and not good. Business not good because we buy from them. As long as we don't buy from them, as long as we protest against the military industry or something. As long as we don't do this, they will continue. So I took my coffee here at Costa, and Costa, when you buy something, you get also 10 cents of this. This product goes to the Costa charity fund or something. So they will. That will be more because, like biological food and so on, is improving because people start to feel and understand how they organize a new society, how they want to do it different. People will understand that what's good for the other is good for them. They call it rational altruism. So when I have a computer, it's also, when I give a computer to somebody else, the value of my computer becomes bigger. Because it works with the connections all over the world. Same for education. Same for healthcare in other parts of the world. If we want to sell our products, we better have people able to pay for it and to think it and to keep the machine going. For me, it's a little bit sad that this rational altruism will have the future and that people won't understand that generosity pays off a lot.
Isn't
But
rational, sorry, I interrupted you.
No.
I was just wondering, is rational altruism is a basis for the share economy, and again that kind of goes back to the individual producer sharing and consuming rather than having a larger umbrella institution or state to administrate, but we share in according to horizontal model, but that also has a potential to return to capital through things like open source development, that software is developed and then eventually that development is used by corporations who don't necessarily share this altruism, but the people that developed it through the altruism. I wonder.
I would not. There are two problems here. I would not say that the sharing, the co-sharing, and you talk car sharing, co-couching, and this whole Airbnb business. I wouldn't say that this is based on rational altruism. It's just based on. It's just because the position of the people is precarious, and they can make a little bit of money out of it. For me, it's very sad that sharing, that more trust in people on the internet it goes much more generous, and the Wikipedia other things that are there for free. But it's typical, capitalism is so successful because it can eat everything that is against it. But here, the whole sharing economy is commercialized by people that make loads of money with it now, and it takes away the genuine generosity that people could have. And you are completely checked because the one you take in your car is traceable, the one you leave in your home is traceable. So they won't do something.
Well, that's it.
You know,
Value
it's nice that
the
you.
transaction through the information of the participants in that transaction, but they use the language of the commons.
Yes,
I suppose.
yes,
And
yes.
there's
But it's confusing.
Yeah.
But it's like with neoliberalism. It's very interesting that it's possible in this time that 30 years ago, people would not allow anybody that they would not know, that would not be a friend or family, in their house, let alone in their bed, on their couch, in their car. Impossible. So that's a new thing, but the new thing is driven.
Really, there was a scheme called Interfax, which was like a pre-internet Airbnb that is exactly the same model. Where people house swapped, and there were catalogs, and you arranged it in a slower way, so there are precedents for it. So
and also the equivalent of car sharing is just hitchhiking, which is like a real life.
What's more risky than car sharing now?
It's, you could say,
And
it's
totally
risky,
for
but
free.
people did it, and it was
Totally
still,
for free and risky.
But I mean, like you say, like this has become a profit motive as well as like in a private space.
No. It's driven by poverty. Not even by greediness. It's people that don't need to do this. Although I know all over the world. I was in Riga and looked for Airbnb, and then you see developers, a guy that has 10 flats, and they're only for Airbnb clients. So it becomes it's normal. So it became normal business. That's a pity because it takes this sharing, this generosity, kills it a little bit. But I think also it helps all little baby steps that society makes in order to cooperate.
what would you say is the kind of sharing among strangers that has been eradicated? What are the examples of that? Is it a kind of romantic idea that
Hitchhiking is killed.
Yeah.
Was already killed before car sharing opened, but that is.
It's about trust.
I would not even say, it's a difficult word, trust. You do it or you don't do it, because you cannot trust anybody. So you take somebody in your car because you think, why not? But mostly you took somebody in your car because you knew that in your student time you were a hitchhiker yourself, and you remember that you also sometimes need 6 hours before you got a car or something. So it's the same like giving to Greenpeace, the greediness and generosity. When you are you walk along good poor people that are asking money in the street. Yes, sometimes you give, and sometimes you don't give. And every time that you don't give, it's hard for you, it's hard for the other, of course. But yeah. No, I think society, of course, was very generous on village level, and maybe still, because there you know each other, and there you know that you are dependent on each other. You help each other. Cities took this away, but cities become more cooperative, more.
But it's to do with the traceability thing we were talking about. The traceability is naturally there in the village, and that everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
So rather than going to a post-capitalist state and looking at the commons, we're going to a pre-capitalist state.
Maybe. I am not this guy that saying that in the past it was better.
Yeah.
So
that's the question.
I'm
Are we
very
romanticising the past?
no. I'm very happy with all the inventions and things that we have.